so sorry I forgot to start record. But I will put notes in a folder. Now we are going to share the screen. It's Wednesday. Everybody starts to get tired. Oh my God. See? Thank you. Did I? Desktop share sound, optimize for video clip. Desktop. All right. Now I think we're good.
Joined to wife, the heart leaps up to behold this good day.
Amy, I can't find my shoes anywhere. Today's for Amy. Amy, I give you the rest of my life to cherish and to keep you, to honor you forever. Today's for Amy, my happily soon to be wife. Amy, we're really getting married.
Pardon me, is everybody there? Because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate your going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do, and not a word of it to Paul. Remember, Paul, you know the man I'm gonna marry, but I'm not, because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is. But I thank you all for the gifts and the flowers. Thank you all. Now it's back to the showers. Don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
Yes, this dear tragedy of life, husband yoked to wife, the heart sinks down and feels dead. Is dreadful day.
Amy, Paul can't find his good cufflinks.
On the dresser, right next to my suicide note. Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for. A wedding, what's a wedding? It's a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard, and which is followed by a honeymoon where suddenly you realize
You settled with it, not want to kill me, which you should. So listen, thanks a bunch, but I'm not getting married.
go have lunch because I'm not getting married. You've been grand, but I'm not getting married. Don't just stand there and not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today. So can't you go? Why is nobody listening? Goodbye, go and cry at another person's wake. If you're quick for a kick, you could pick up a christening. But please, on my knees, there's a human life at stake. Listen, everybody, I'm afraid you didn't hear, or do you want to see a crazy lady fall apart in front of you? It isn't only Paul who may be ruining his life. You know, we'll both of us be losing our identities. I telephoned my analyst about it, and he said to see him Monday, but by Monday I'll be floating in the Hudson with the other garbage. I'm not well. You've been swell, but I'm not getting married. Clear the hall, because I'm not getting married. Thank you all, but I'm not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
Bless this bride, totally insane, slipping down the drain, and bless this day in our hearts as it starts to rain.
It was a spare. It's a prop.
Today is for
Go, can't you go? Look, you know I adore you all, but why watch me die like Eliza on the ice? But perhaps I'll collapse in the apse right before you. Also take back the cake, burn the shoes, and boil the rice. honest, but I didn't want to have to tell you, but I may be coming down with hepatitis and I think I'm gonna faint. So if you want to see me faint, I'll do it happily, but wouldn't it be funnier to go and watch a funeral? So thank you for the 27 dinner plates and 37 butter knives and 47 paperweights and 57 candles.
One more thing.
I'm not getting married.
Softly said.
Still, I'm not getting married.
With this ring,
But I'm not getting married.
I thee wed.
I'm not getting married. Let us pray, but I'm not getting married today.
That was good. Yay. All right. So let's talk about what did Mr. Sondheim do in this score how did the accompaniment help us know what's going on?
Well, it starts with, I presume her friend, I think on the score it's Jenny, and she's like talking and it's really slow moving organ
Yes.
music. And it's like what would be playing at a wedding? That's kind of what's outside, but then it's really sharply contrasted when it gets to the really fast
Right.
kinetic stuff that's for Amy.
Right. And Paul is Mr. Expansive Love. And his is slow too, but it's different. You don't get, you definitely get the church in the first, you get location from that accompaniment, right? And from Paul's accompaniment, it's just this like overly expansive emotion. And then, so hers is, it's moving. And those lyrics, and to speak those so quickly, you have to really, that's a master class in lyric writing because it has to fit in your mouth in a way that you can do it that fast.
It's also just the enunciation. Clarity, like also on the front of the stickers, rather.
Yes, I know it's
Hard to.
it's really hard to do, and part of it is supported by the writing of it, and also he puts her. This isn't accompaniment, but he puts her in a speaking range, right? It's and so it's almost like speaking, and she's just singing in like minor seconds, kind of on the same notes, not going all over the. You couldn't going all over the place and singing fast would be a lot. And so the accompaniment is helping her pitch wise, but also telling us what's going on inside of her, right? And this beat just kind of tells us things are moving forward and you can't stop what's happening. What else did you notice?
Yeah, that's like the layering.
Paul, yeah.
All the his thing layered over top of it, and you get two voices at the end together. Some interplay of like the melodies,
Right.
Because I don't know, layering melodies on top of it is very common in musical theater. Because like,
And
you get-
opera.
that way you get like multiple trains of thought happening at the same time.
Yes.
Because like characters interacting, and then you see like the melodies interacting.
Yeah.
Did he write that? Did he write like Paul's melody, envisioning how it would fit with?
I think he makes a little
Yeah, he probably modified it a bit.
yeah, it's a bit modified.
I got interesting that when Paul came in the first time, it felt the implemented feel really exciting. Yes, like and when as soon as she started singing, it just was just this anxious. It was the same, same kind of same kind of the way that
Like, instead of like a long string line, you have
Yeah.
and alongside with lyrics, just people don't usually sing that. So
No,
it
they
feels anxious.
It makes you feel anxious when you're listening to it.
and when she what's the phrase that I'm not getting married.
Right.
And that she had all these reasons that she was actually finishing, which finally says I'm not getting married today.
Right,
We're
right.
waiting for that today.
Right. Right, it all is leading up to today. And oh, they could. Yeah, like background voices could work as an accompaniment. How would you, like, what are you thinking of? Yeah. It's part of the accompaniment and sort of part of the orchestration, but it's also part of the scene, you know, because they would probably be church choir singers, but they kind of become part of the environment of the song.
So like if they had words, wouldn't they be more so part of like the narrative? But if they didn't have words, would they be more part of the orchestration?
Right,
Like we
right.
don't know if they were singing be the harmony.
Toward the end, they're singing Amen. Let's see. He's singing, and then they are singing Amen. Amen, Amen. And the big Amen at the end, suspended fourth to third. The other thing that like happens in musicals a lot are these sort of gliss up to something happens. It's kind of a commonly used, just kind of to make us land somewhere.
There's not a harp.
Depends on, like Light in the Piazza has a harp. Yeah, I mean, orchestration in musicals nowadays is all about budgets. Sadly.
Probably already.
Yeah, but this afternoon we're going to listen to some orchestrations, and like the original Rodgers and Hammerstein orchestras are like full. They're not like the Philharmonic, but it's a full orchestra. Yeah, and now pits are like, you know, they have to negotiate with the union about how many players and which theater. You know, different have different numbers. And so it's a, you know, it's a puzzle. Oh yeah, the musicians union,
I did not know that.
local 802, and that's what it is in New York. I don't know if it's the same here. There's musicians unions in Minneapolis, Chicago. Yeah, there's not a composers union.
Well, now there's gonna be.
There's arrangers are part of orchestrators, and arrangers are in the musicians union, not composers.
We're independent.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Anyway, would you like to listen to this again now that we sort of sussed out what's going on? Do you like looking at the score or the lyric or the video? I mean, do you like the video and the score, or would you like the lyric and the score, or the video and the lyric?
Let's do it.
Lyric and score. Okay. Let me just arrange my desktop so this can happen. And I can play the music in the background. Okay, all right, I'm going to just start the video.
Bless this deep pinnacle of life, husband joined to wife, the heart leaps up to behold, be schooled and
Very church.
Hey, me, I can't find my shoes anywhere. Today's for Amy. Amy, I give you the rest of my life to cherish and to keep you.
Hear how the strings are helping
To
him?
honor you forever. Today's for Amy, my happily
Not exactly doubling, but it's kind of.
wife. Amy, we're really getting married.
Pardon me, is everybody there? Because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate your going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do, and not a word of it to Paul. Remember, Paul, you know the man I'm gonna marry, but I'm not, because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is. But I thank you all for the gifts and the flowers. Thank you all. Now it's back to the showers. Don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
Yes, this dear tragedy of life has been yoked to wife.
Backgrounds, voices.
The heart sinks down and feels dead. Is dreadful dead.
Amy, Paul can't find his good cufflinks.
On the dresser, right next to my suicide note. Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for. A wedding, what's a wedding? It's a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard, and which is followed by a honeymoon where suddenly you realize
You saddled with it and want to kill me, which you should. So listen, thanks a bunch, but I'm not getting married.
go have lunch because I'm not getting married. You've been grand, but I'm not getting married. Don't just stand there, I'm not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today. So can't you go? Why is nobody listening? Goodbye, go and cry at another person's wake. If you're quick for a kick, you could pick up a christening. But please, on my knees, there's a human life at stake. Listen, everybody, I'm afraid you didn't hear, or do you want to see a crazy lady fall apart in front of you? It isn't only Paul who may be ruining his life. You know, we'll both of us be losing our identities. I telephoned my analyst about it, and he said to see him Monday, but by Monday I'll be floating in the Hudson with the other garbage. I'm not well. You've been swell, but I'm not getting married. Clear the hall, because I'm not getting married. Thank you all, but I'm not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
Bless this bride, totally insane, slipping down the drain, and bless this day in our hearts as it starts to rain.
Thunderclap. I wonder, is it in the orchestration or is it a sound design? I am not sure.
Today is for
Go, can't you go? Look, you know I adore you all, but why watch me die like Eliza on the ice? But perhaps I'll collapse in the apse right
This
before
melody's
you.
a
Also
little-
take back the cake, burn the shoes, and boil the rice.
The shape
I
is.
didn't want to have to tell you, but I may be coming down with hepatitis, and I think I'm gonna faint. So if you want to see me faint, I'll do it happily. But wouldn't it be funnier to go and watch a funeral? So thank you for the 27 dinner plates, the 37 butter knives, the 47 paperweights, the 57 candles.
One more thing.
I'm not getting married.
Softly said.
Still, I'm not getting
Sorry.
married.
With this ring,
But I'm not getting married.
I thee wed.
I'm not getting married. Let us pray, but I'm not getting married today.
Yes,
Something I realized just through the lyrics,
yes.
you know, like the 12 Days of Christmas, like there's like this line and then it adds,
Uh-huh.
who's the one who said the one who doesn't
Amy.
like Amy?
Yeah.
Like the last, I think it's like, yeah, she keeps adding to the.
Uh-huh, right. Yeah, it's really brilliant and I would call it a showstopper just because it's so. But did you notice this time sort of where the accompaniment was helping the singer and
The strings were doubling like the
yeah,
a little bit more.
a
so.
little bit. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Like, I think maybe I'm wrong. Like, I feel like the top note matches most.
Let's go. Let's just
Side note. Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for.
They're the da da da, and she's da 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 da. Yeah, so it's kind of in fourths with her, but because the bass note is so strong, I think, yeah,
The strings, I think it's
on the bottom.
Wedding, what's a wedding? It's a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard, and which is followed by a honeymoon where suddenly you realize you settled with
Oh, it's
another.
kind of in the
Kill me, which
middle.
you should, so listen, thanks a bunch, but I'm not getting married.
Go have lunch, cause I'm
Minutes.
not getting married. You've been grand, but I'm not getting married. Don't just stand there and not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
It helps that it's repetitive,
Yeah.
like once you're on it. Cause yeah, and it's unusual to like in this, the world is to have all these fourths. That's kind of an like in musical theater, to have that kind of harmony is a little unusual. Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess it sort of fits like the anxious, like I'm pretty sure there's like chromatic upward motion and stuff, which is like, you don't hear it in theater, so it's
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah. It is odd, but it creates, it's not odd in the context of what
Yeah,
this
because
is.
it
Yeah.
evokes the mood.
Right.
It's the scene.
Yeah. It's very anxiety producing. I don't know. Did you feel anxious? Yeah. I have something completely different to look at. Whole different way of score notation and setup. So I'm just going to play the beginning piece of this. I wonder if I can get, let me just see if I can get two, because it's really, yeah, I just want these 2 pages. Yeah, talk about, like, we were talking this morning about notation and like how would you draw that? Let's look at this first page, because the way that the accompaniment relates to the singer, I think, is really interesting. So the sound, look, welling, pulsating like a sound of nature. Glissando over strings, 2 fingers. FT. What is FT? Fingertip. Thank you. And then pedals all the way through, right? Glissando over string. And then over here, I think I tried this on my piano. It's really cool. You depress a chord and then you glissando the strings. Yes?
Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering, when are you guys going to be done this work today?
I think there's classes through this afternoon
According
Yeah.
to schedule, it's supposed to be done by 3.
by 5.
Okay.
There's the salon in here, right?
Oh, yeah, I think. we
There's a
do.
salon in here, yeah, 4 o'clock. Yeah,
Till 5 o'clock, okay.
Yeah.
And then are you in here tomorrow?
we're supposed to be, but I understand that the internet's gonna be out.
Yeah, so starting at the technology in here will be off.
Right, so I think we're gonna, afternoon, we're gonna teach in a different place tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, okay, so you hold down, you don't play, you see these notes here, these triads. So you're depressing the keys, but you're not actually playing the note. And then you're glissing on the strings on the piano so that those chords, and you're not on the pedal. Okay, it's very cool effect. And then the voice part, so it's not like lined up like what we just heard where everything is, the voice part is like, okay, start here and sing over. It's not, it's not necessarily synced with time-wise with the accompaniment. And soprano begins sections 1, 2, and 3 at approximately approximate point as shown by arrow. These sections are not synchronized with the piano. So my curiosity here is like, why did he write this curved? I don't know the answer. It really looks cool. Does it telling us what it's supposed to feel like? I mean, it's about nature, and it's also here, we're just going to listen to this first section. It's by Whitman after the assassination of President Lincoln. So the night in silence under many a star. Let me make this a little bit bigger. The ocean shore and the husky whispering wave, whose voice I know, and the soul turning to thee, O vast and well-veiled death, and the body gratefully nestling close to thee. So let's listen to that and look at the score. I might have to go over to YouTube. Nope, nope. Okay, and then her voice part's on the next page, but the piano part repeats this. Again, it's with this part here. So what did that accompaniment tell you? Textural. It's not, it's sort of, even though it's so specifically notated, there's an improvisational aspect to it. And doesn't, and the voice is kind of, I'm not sure how she gets her pitch. I mean, I'm not quite sure how she does it. She is on her own. I think this is a case where the accompaniment really creates an atmosphere, a world, and then the voice just kind of floats over. Did anything else you were curious about on this one?
I find it, I think that you talked about how in sports, the piano part is kind of just supposed to be nature sounds, and it does a really good job of being separated from what the voice is singing.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, is they're doing sort of different, very different things. Yet I like the way they work together. It just creates a world, and the use of the strings and in combination with playing on the keys, just very exciting texture. And I think it really helps us hear that text as well. All right. This afternoon, I'm going to talk about orchestration. So it's sort of like building onto this. And it's 11 a.m. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. I set up